guys, it's Bree with Califia Candle Company. Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we are going to be trying out a new sealer. So as most of you already know, I currently am using the Earth Safe Finishes sealer. I'm using their preserver slash sealer for the inside of my candle jars and their matte varnish for my trays and my other concrete decor pieces. And I do absolutely love both of those sealers and have had nothing but success with them so far. But the one drawback I have to say is that it is just really time consuming. And one thing I've been trying to focus on, and sort of a goal for the new year, is scaling my business. And when it's just me, one person doing everything, I just need to end up finding more efficient ways to get things done. So I've kind of been keeping my eye out for a sealer that would be more efficient, and I have one that I'm really excited to try, and it is the Eco Advanced Sealer. Now this one is the one specific for concrete and masonry. They do have, I think, a couple of different ones, so you want to make sure that you're getting the one that is specific to concrete. But I'm super excited to try this out, and I figured I would take you guys along with me. So I hope you enjoy the video. So I will go over some information about this sealer before we get to the application process. I did purchase it on Amazon for $19.45, so pretty affordable for a gallon of it. And they do have it at Home Depot, I know. I didn't check Lowe's, but it was cheaper on Amazon, and with Prime you don't have to pay for shipping. So I ordered it through there, and it's ready to use. You don't have to dilute it or anything. If you are reading the back of the bottle, their recommended application is by spraying it. But from what I was researching for candle jars, the dip method is kind of the best way to go with this. So just putting some of it in a bowl or a tub and dipping your vessel in, wiping it, letting it dry, and dipping it again. That seemed to be the method to go with for candle jars. I just have some notes here, so I'll run through that. It's water-based, it's non-toxic, no VOCs, non-flammable. I personally didn't reach out to the company, but I did see on the Facebook groups a couple different people posted their interaction with the company, and they did confirm that it is safe to use for candle jars. So that is good news. And the one thing that I find really interesting about this sealer is that it's a penetrating sealer, so it's not gonna leave a residue on the actual jar. It just seeps in and completely disappears when it's fully dried. So if you're somebody that does not like that finish that the Earth Safe Finishes sealer leaves behind, that kind of sticky, tacky feeling and the visible brush strokes, that personally doesn't bother me, but I know it does bother a lot of people. This might be something you're interested in because it leaves absolutely no residue or anything. So I'm really curious about that. It is recommended to do 2 coats, and I was reading that you want to kind of be quick with the coats. So once the first coat is fully dried, then you want to go in right away for the second coat. And it cures in 24 hours. So you can make candles 24 hours after you finish the second coat. So that is about it for the run through of this product. So why don't we go ahead and head out into the garage and put it to the test. Okay, so I have 2 vessels here. I have this plastic pouring funnel that I just had laying around, so I went ahead and poured some of the solution in there, and actually is pretty convenient because it has a spout on it. So I'll just pour the rest of the solution back into the original container when I'm done. And I have a microfiber towel to wipe down the drips when we take it out, and gloves. So I think we are ready to get started. So I'm literally just going to dunk this in, take it out, wipe it down, and then we'll wait for it to dry out and repeat the process one more time. So I'm going to fully submerge it to make sure it gets all of the inside too. I'll take it out. And then just wipe it. This is so weird. I'm so used to Earth Safe and brushing it on. So I just want to make sure there's no drips running down it. It's also weird to seal the exterior because I don't do that now. So, all right, I think that one is good. So we'll just let that dry and then we'll do it again. And then I'll move on to this one. Okay, this is pretty quick. This one is already drying, so I'll come back when it is ready to dip again for the second time. Okay, so the first thing I'm noticing on the first one that we did is it did dry very fast, but it did leave behind some spots. There they are. I'm not sure if you can see that, but it left behind these little water spot things. That could just be my fault for not wiping it enough, but I was kind of worried about wiping the solution away, but maybe I need to do a better job of wiping it down. Same thing on this one. This one left a little bit more prominent water spots. So I might try again on different jars and we'll see. I'll do the second coat and see how it turns out. So this one is ready to dip again. This one's still drying out. So I'm gonna go ahead and repeat the process. So I guess I'll do more of a wipe down. Okay, I'm doing the second coat on the second jar. Okay, so it's still leaving these little water spots on there, so I'm gonna try again and just try to do a better job of wiping it down the first time and see if that makes a difference. Okay, here is the second one. So still getting water spots, but yeah, let's try again on a different jar and see how it turns out. I do have to say that this dried insanely fast, which is awesome. Okay, I'm gonna really wipe it down well this time. I don't know if my gloves, like me touching it with my wet gloves, was leaving spots behind, so let's see, do circular motions maybe. Okay, that one turned out a lot better. I don't see any visible water spots on that one, so I'm gonna dunk it in for the second coat. So just for curiosity, I did just grab a sponge brush and I'm just curious about this application method, so I figured I'd try it. It is a really watery solution, so I do think the dip method is probably the way to go, but I was just curious. So here is that third vessel that we dipped, and that one definitely turned out a lot better. So I do think wiping in the circular motion is probably the way to do it. Yeah, I don't see any water spots, just these lovely air bubbles. So that one looks pretty darn good. So I'm really curious to see how it is going to be when I pour wax in there. It's just so interesting to see that there is no residue. All right, so it is the next day. It's been 24 hours and I have some wax heating up right now in my Presto pot. I did grab the third jar that we dipped, the one that had no water spots on it. And I also grabbed the sponge brush application method jar just to do a little comparison and see if the application method makes a difference. So I'm gonna get these wicked and ready to pour some wax into them. But I do have to say I'm really impressed with how this looks. It literally looks like there's nothing on the concrete, which I love because I don't seal the outside of my jars because I love that look of the raw concrete. So that is really exciting. So I'm super curious to see how this holds up with the wax. So let's get to pouring. All right, so I don't see any seepage yet immediately after pouring. So that is a good sign. I'll check back in a little bit once these start to set. As these are cooling down, I still don't see any seepage around the jars. So that is really great. I am really impressed and happy with how these are turning out. So overall, I do think this is a great option for a sealer so far. I will keep you guys updated when I actually light the candles and have them burning, just to see how it performs with that and how the jars look after the candle has been burned down a little bit. But so far so good. It's affordable, it's easily accessible, it doesn't leave any residue. So I'm really impressed with this stuff so far. So again, be on the lookout for probably a community post on here about the jars after I've burned the candles. And that is the end of the video. So I hope you guys found it helpful. If you did, feel free to give the video a thumbs up and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. I hope you have a wonderful Thanksgiving.